Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Got some more gaming news for you today. This is an article from Push Square. Brazil is taking on digital games ownership and preservation after Sony says no more discs. It appears that Brazil is concerning itself with matters relating to consumer rights when it comes to digital games. Federal Deputy, and excuse me if I mispronounce this, Jandira Fagali, recently proposed a new bill directly inspired by the Stop Killing Games movement that aims to prevent online games from ceasing to exist when official support comes to an end. The bill stipulates that publishers must clearly inform customers about a game's reliance on online servers at the point of sale. Furthermore, they must also outline the minimum support period, which cannot be less than 2 years from a game's launch in Brazil. It also says publishers must inform consumers about any termination of service no less than 180 days in advance, notifying players in the game itself on official social channels and through other means. The bill suggests 3 options for what happens after an online game is shut down. The company can release an update to allow for offline play, they can provide tools to the community to keep it going themselves, or they can reimburse players proportionally based on how much time they spent with the game. Failure to comply with these regulations would incur fees. And Push Square goes on to say, there's a bit more to it, but it shares a lot in common with the aforementioned Stop Killing Games initiative, which has been campaigning for much the same thing in Europe. The bill still needs to make it through several layers of legislative process, so it's far from becoming law, but it's interesting to see these cropping up in global politics, especially in light of Sony's decision to discontinue the production of game discs in 2028. Speaking of which, Federal Deputy Erica Hilton has requested an investigation into Sony Interactive Entertainment and its plan for a purely digital landscape. In the document, she argues that it will restrict certain rights associated with physical game ownership, such as reselling, lending to friends, and preservation. She also says the move does not consider areas of the world, including parts of Brazil, that are currently not equipped with high-speed internet access and that rely on physical stores and the second-hand market to purchase games. Hilton suggests Sony's plans may contravene several articles within Brazil's Consumer Protection Code and asks that this may be investigated by Senacon, the country's governmental consumer rights group. It's still early days on all this, and things generally move pretty slowly in politics, but it'll be interesting to see whether this amounts to anything. PlayStation is currently in everyone's bad books with any social posts dogpiled by angry fans protesting the eradication of physical games. So there you go, folks. Brazil's fighting it as well. And this article brings up a very good point, and one that I stand on myself, when it says, quote, she also says the move does not consider areas of the world, including parts of Brazil, that are currently not equipped with high-speed internet access and that rely on physical stores and the second-hand market to purchase games. That right there really hits home because in my area, we live about 7 minutes outside of town, and town had high-speed internet access for years. We never could get it out here, and the best that we could do was a hotspot on our cell phones. And trust me, that sucks, but if that's all you've got, that's what you've got. It wasn't until recent years that they actually laid fiber out our way, and now we have pretty good internet, but that was one of the things that I've always thought about is whenever you bought a game and you had to download 3/4 of it, even if you had the disc, you still had to download 3/4 of it or hook to the internet when you bought a new system for it to update. That sucks if you don't have internet. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand most people do, but there are parts of the world, there's parts of America that still do not have internet. And they're still trying to push this all digital, always online crap. Yeah, in a perfect world, if the entire world had internet, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but there's places that don't, and their only means is to have a physical disc. Not to mention getting discs on sale or at flea markets or yard sales or something like that, secondhand, and saving a bunch of money to where you might spend $5 or $10 on a disc secondhand and then turn around and Sony or Microsoft might have it for digital download for $50, $60, $70. I mean, that's a huge thing that a lot of people are upset about because, guys, once they do this, the only sale that you're going to get is the one that they want to give you. Most of the time, you're going to be paying full price for this. And you would think if they're not going to have to make discs anymore, they're going to save money with manufacturing, you would get a discount through buying digital games. The digital game would be cheaper. Nuh-uh. Look at the prices now. Most of the time, you don't get any sort of a discount just because the game's digital. They're going to hold people by their ankles and shake every cent out of their pockets that they can. If this does eventually go through, which eventually it probably will, but that's when the whole questions of monopolies and everything else comes into talk. I mean, who knows? We'll see. Maybe Brazil will win that. And then you have this right here by Playfront. Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2 break sales charts on the PlayStation Store. The unannounced PS5 and PS4 conversions of Call of Duty Black Ops and Black Ops 2 immediately took over the top spots in the PlayStation Store charts worldwide after their release, and according to industry reports, have higher active player numbers than the current main installment of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Now guys, if that right there don't tell you something, I don't know what does. The OG Black Ops and Black Ops 2, the originals, are beating Black Ops 7. That's how stale gaming has got. The AAA gaming space is just going downhill and continues to go downhill. I mean, let's face it, not a lot has changed from the early Call of Duty Black Ops and the newer Black Ops. To this day, I still haven't played Black Ops 7. Not saying that I won't eventually, but there's nothing that entices me to play it. I played Black Ops 6, but it just seems like the story is getting crazier and crazier, and there's not much gameplay that's changed. As a matter of fact, Black Ops 7, when it first released, this could be changed, I don't know, but it seemed like it had a lot of issues. Like, it seemed like they designed that solely for online play. I was watching one channel review Black Ops 7. I think it might have been Mr. Matty Plays, and he was playing it single player, playing the campaign, and literally, the cutscenes, you would be walking with you and your crew, and then when the cutscene was over, it would just be you. Like, your teammates were nowhere around, and then in the campaign. Now, that could have changed, I don't know, but it just seems like they're slopping a lot of stuff together just to get it out there and get your money. And like I said, not a lot of stuff has changed from 5, 6, 7, and everybody knows the old school Call of Duty Black Ops, the early ones, were the best anyways. But that really should throw some flags up to game developers. Hey, our brand new game is getting beat by games in the installment that are 5, 6, 7 games past and years ago. Those games, those old games, are beating our brand new one we just came out with. Like, a lot of AAA games they've bloated so much, and you get so little out of it as a gamer. I mean, it's ridiculous. Millions and millions and millions of dollars on these games. And yes, while they look good, what's the gameplay really like? You know, I don't know. I feel like that should be a wake-up call to developers. A lot of people nowadays, and it's not just Black Ops, I mean, that a lot of people are going retro. They're doing a lot of retro gaming nowadays, especially with this full push to digital, all digital. I've seen a lot of players busting out the PS2 or the 64 and firing it back up. Heck, I might have to do that myself. But I don't know. Tell me what you all think in the comments below. And if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, I hope everyone has a great day.